Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Cohn. I am your host. Joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Dan Welch. Dan, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, not too much. Another long day in counting world, especially since NIP absolutely blew it.
I'm
Or just
sorry,
sucked. I
listen,
don't
in
know.
my defense, I told you not to play NIP.
I would not have listened. I was determined to will it into existence.
Listen, it was a great leverage spot like we talked about yesterday. It was like the ultimate leverage spot because no one was going to play him, no one was going to own him. Quite frankly, I thought Hampus was going to be optimal with the way he was going off there on map 1, but alas, he ended up not
Can we
being
not? Can
optimal.
we not? Can we not talk about it anymore, please?
Well, listen, you know, talk about your boy Rez. I'm not. No, I'm kidding. Let's
Rez,
talk
it was
about
fucking. Oops, sorry. I got that. That was just a little
language,
overboard, wasn't
Dan.
it?
That's why this podcast is not intended for kids. Um, anyway, you know, it wasn't a long day at the office. It was for Heroic and Gambit. My goodness, Gambit
Mm.
just looked like they're playing on another level right now. It's like Gambit up top and like a gap, and then everyone else. Gambit are just playing some phenomenal Counter Strike.
Yeah, Axel. I
Oi.
mean,
All right, well, let's talk
come on.
about him.
Like,
Because as always here on the CSGO Clutch Podcast, we are going to break down the winning lineup from the previous day's main slate and the large field GPP. You mentioned it, Dan. Axile, 61 frags, 8 assists, 27 deaths, 7 first kills, 150.75 DraftKings points. 61 frags, Dan.
it's insane. 2.27 rating.
He had a 2.27?
Wait, I'm sorry. That was on one map. It was 1.83 overall, but
That's
um,
insane. Numbers don't usually get
uh,
that high. That's
over
ridiculous.
overpass was 2.27. Inferno was 1.48.
Overpass was a clinic. He got aggressive there. Like when he got in that groove, he was up like 15 frags. He just kept pushing and aggressing, and Astralis had no answer for him. So we had a two-way tie here in first place on DraftKings. Duffy Van Pelt and Lynch 303 tied for first place. $1,375 to each player. Congrats to the both of you. 1,375 for each one of them. Dan, 3-3 took it down. I thought it was going to be a 3-2-1 because I thought Astralis would have made it a little bit more competitive. Captain Axile with Shiro and Hobbit. And
I mean,
Caden
that's
Kessis Refresh.
it's
3
not that
Gambit,
crazy.
3 Gambit, 3 Heroic.
I could see either you or I making that lineup. I'm surprised it wasn't more duplicated. What was the 504.75? That looks like a train.
Let's take a look.
Like, why was
That
that
also had an
more?
Axile Captain. That was Stown instead of Refresh.
Ah, Axel Shear Hobbit, and so they pivoted to refresh,
Yep. Like
which
we
is
said,
smart.
well, it's like we said yesterday. Feel free to leave money on the table. You know, and this
Yep.
lineup was duplicated so many times.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, dude. I'm happy for those two guys then, because that would suck to have 50 duplicates in first.
Refresh was 38.4% owned. You,
Yeah, the price.
it's okay to leave money on the table to get different, and these two got different. So there's really nothing we need to break down. Axile was the star of the day.
No,
His
yeah.
gameplay looked like he had an uber confidence about him. It was almost like because I don't know if you got a chance to watch some of the game, but I remember seeing something where Axile he's there on A site and he's just pushing up bathrooms. He's pushing by divider and he's just hanging out. Oh look, I see 2 Astralis. 1 hide, 2 bye. Just like didn't even phase him. He's just
He was on.
pushing and pushing. He was in the zone. Axile carried the day. No Axile, probably no money, or at least no big money. I mean, you can see the difference between the 2-person takedown here and the many persons that had the duplicate lineup. It was a 1v1. It was just refresh over Stown.
Yeah.
Nothing else we really need to break
Yeah.
down here. And quite
No, I'm.
frankly, this is your grand final. I think it's Heroic versus Gambit,
Oh,
best of five.
absolutely. I want to
Astralis
apologize to everyone.
struggling.
Yeah, I want to apologize to everyone that might have listened to me. I hopefully I disclaimed enough what I was touting. And you should listen to Adam from now on.
Oh boy. Um, I don't even know how to say that there, or to even go from there. We were
What? What do you mean?
well, the person we want to listen to is our guest that we're going to have on the podcast soon. We tried getting him today. Schedules didn't line up, so we're going to try getting him on the podcast. It is a person who Dan and I know and have been in quite a few Discord chat servers with. And good guy. He's been on a DFS heater lately, and that is a teaser for when we have him on the podcast. For
I
right
just want
now,
to know what his voice sounds like.
there you go. Hit that like button, folks. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And click that notification bell. That way, there you all know every single time one of these podcasts drop. Dan, with that being said, let's get into this two-game slate of really what's one game should be 2-0 and one I don't know how to call. And I can't believe I'm saying it should be a close match. But let's get into the blowout first. Complexity versus Nip. Or Nip
Ugh.
versus Complexity. However you want to say it. Dan, I'm sorry. Nip didn't get eliminated. They only went to the quarters, not the semis. So the
It was
play-in stage
unbelievable.
was just to determine which of the teams were advancing to the semis and which were advancing to the quarters. You can
I don't
see
care that they're still in it. They're done in my mind. Like they just that was bad.
well, let's talk about the big piece of news that came out yesterday that we didn't have the information for when we recorded the podcast last night.
Right.
Nip has a new IGL.
Mm-hmm.
ZTR apparently is the new IGL for Nip.
Yep.
I don't know why they changed IGLs. I don't know why you changed it mid-tournament. Like, that's just very interesting to me, but that interests me in Hampus going forward. He went off on Overpass. I think he was the highest fragger for Nip, and I think through the end of
Inferno.
was it Inferno or was it Overpass?
Inferno. They picked Inferno,
It was
which
Inferno. My bad. Um, all right. Gambit picked
that was
Overpass.
confusing to me.
Right, Gambit picked Overpass. Hampus was going off. I think he came what? He had over 20 frags on one map. He looked really good. So if he's gonna be freed up to frag, he could be
He's good.
the one or two on this team. If he's gonna look that good and that solid.
He's good. He's very good. I've heard other players say that they're like afraid of him because he's that good.
Yeah, I mean, look, you and I said yesterday he has a ceiling, but that was also when he was the IGL. If he's not IGL and he is out there just to frag, oh boy.
Yeah. It
Come
can.
the next event, we're gonna be looking at playing him more. But I can't play any Nip on this slate. I think Complexity win 2-0. I think they stomp Nip. I think Complexity he'll look too good.
Yeah.
I
They're gonna.
just now. With that being said, I could see this being 2-1 Complexity. I think Nip could pick an to Inferno again.
Okay.
I don't think Complexity are that good, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they're that good on Inferno. We could take a look. We can go to
They have
8,000.
some map weakness for sure.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think
hit.
I think Nip could exploit that.
Well, let's head over here, right? Let's go to. Look at all the news today. Right. Let's head over. Not matches, results. No, let's go to
I
matches.
can't believe they picked Inferno.
I can't believe they didn't pick up. Like, you should have picked Overpass, right?
I know, dude. Why did they pick?
That's fine.
Heroic's good on Inferno. Like I think
Heroic's
they
good on every
won.
map.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
So
sure
this
they
is
are.
interesting. It seems both these teams don't like playing Vertigo. So I don't think we see Vertigo. I think that's one of the first bans we see.
Well, maybe Nip will pick it because they think complexity is like a punish pick. But
I think Train's probably going to be another ban. I don't think we see Train. I think the maps we're going to see, I definitely think we see Complexity pick into Mirage. They've played Mirage
Yeah,
16 times.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
they're a really good Mirage team. Let's see. Oh,
I
I take
mean,
that back. Complexity's played Inferno 6 times. They have an 83% win percentage.
yeah,
Okay.
I think Nip will stick to
Inferno.
hopefully overpass. No, overpass. I think they'll go back.
If Nip goes into Overpass, yeah, that well, they've only won it 40% of the time out of 10 maps. But,
I mean,
Complexity's won it 1 out of 3 times at 33%. So they don't play it that often. I mean, I wouldn't say they're terrible, but it's a map they probably wouldn't choose. I mean, you could get really interesting if you really wanted to, and you could, if you were Complexity, ban Overpass, let Nip ban Vertigo. The maps
yeah,
are going to be interesting. And I don't think it makes a difference. I just think it's just a matter of 2-0 versus 2-1.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm picking Complexity to win. You?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Like
So
no brainer.
I don't think it makes a difference on who we pick in terms of like players. But just know like it may not be 2-0 like if we see an overpass. Maybe we see a nuke. Maybe we could even see Nip picking the train. I just with the new IGL, I don't think they're going anywhere near train. Um that is a very strategy heavy map. You have to make sure you're 100% solid in your callouts, your spots, your supports. It's a heavy callout map. Overpass is a little easier, but train is just it's a very complex map in terms of strategy. Anyway, Dan, with that being said, let's take a look at the odds here on Pinnacle. And we head over here to leagues. We head on to ESL Pro League. Nip Complexity and Astralis Furia. So Astralis is a minus 167 favorite against Furia. That's surprising with how bad they've looked lately. I mean, they just given the
Hmm.
benefit of a doubt to Astralis. Complexity is a minus 210 favorite against Nip. That seems about right.
It doesn't seem. I don't know. It seems like it should be bigger.
I mean, it's a little bit of respect to Nip. All right, let's get back here to the pricing on the slate. Talk to me about Complexity. Talk to me about Nip. Not like you want to talk much about Nip, but talk to me about where you're going on this slate and if Complexity is the lock that Heroic were on the past slate.
If complexity was the lock, well, I can tell you right now that it might be a low scoring match because um, they don't actually end up playing many rounds. That's my gut instinct
Do you think
based
we could
on
see way more rounds not played bonuses than normal?
exactly, yeah, less kills, so an even more even distribution of scores. So I mean, almost like you don't have to spend up on Blame F because he's not going to have to clutch.
That's
I think
contrarian right there.
okay,
That's if you don't play Blame F, that's contrarian. My opinion.
okay. I mean, I like Poison. The price is a little bit high, but
Ooh,
I mean, he's going to be able to buy up every round.
oh, I like that call. And he's at 8,600. And there
Yeah,
are a lot of players in the high range on this slate we want exposure to. I like that. Ooh, Danis, is it Captain Poison Day?
yeah, definitely. I already have it.
Ooh, I like where you're going. Talk to me about the rest of complexity.
Um, I mean, oh.
That good, huh?
I mean, it's like whatever. Who else? Play anybody else after that. Like, I guess config would be a good. I mean, if they do play Mirage, like only thing that and I'm pretty sure that they will. The only thing that I don't know about config is like he's kind of gone back into a little bit of a hole, hasn't he? Like he's kind of
He's no
slumped.
longer stepped up for this team with the absence of JKS with the insane way he was going off prior. I think with the integration of JKS, has taken some of the weight off config, and I
Okay.
think it's now become an even split, like more of an even split of frags between the top three rifle fraggers on this team of Blame F config and JKS. which is why I kind of really like Poison's ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think on Mirage he could go absolutely nuts. If Nip wanted to get ballsy, ban Mirage.
Ban. So then, how would Complexity react? I mean, they would ban Overpass, and then what would they? What would they go to? Um,
I don't know. I just think the matchups will be interesting from a watching the game standpoint. Again,
oh yeah.
I don't think whatever maps we get is gonna affect who I'm playing. I just don't.
No.
But again,
I,
with that being said, are you playing anybody from Nip?
I mean, slight chance knock at 4,800. I mean, he's cheaper than Rush. He's the upper. I mean, that's pretty good. Like that's a serious discount, and Knock has been playing well.
Yeah, 4,800 is too cheap.
I mean,
Um,
if you want to go with Astralis, maybe you have to play Knock to make everything fit. I don't know though.
yeah, pricing on the slate's definitely more interesting. So let us look at the pricing overall. Uh, Device Dupree, Magisk, all expensive. Device is 10,000. Dupree's 9,000. K Serrato's 82. Magisk 78. If you want some of the more expensive guys, you're gonna have to pay down somewhere.
Yeah,
With that being said, I like Campus at 6,800. If you want to play
yeah.
two Cole, one Nip, I don't mind that run back strategy. If you want to run it back with one Nip player, I think that's what we saw from Campus today. I think Campus is a good run back option.
Yeah, I actually like that better than Knock because I think maybe well, it depends on how things shake out, but Knock could be chalk
It's possible
and
at that
Hampus.
price.
Yeah.
I don't normally say don't play anybody. I'm not playing ZTR.
Oh God, no.
Um, if he is the new IGL, I would still like actual confirmation from a news source on that. I think what was it, Dan? They said in an interview on the Twitch stream.
No, the announcers said it.
The
Maybe
announcer
they
said it.
screwed up. I mean, maybe I
No,
definitely.
if the announcers are saying it because they get a chance to listen to I think they get a chance to listen to some of these teams in TeamSpeak or whatever it is that they use. Remember the whole Blast controversy at the end of last year? We couldn't even start the game because it was like an hour, 2 hour delay because they're going back and forth and whatnot.
Oh yeah, MIBR and was it Furia?
Vitality, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like I think they were accusing them of cheating or something, but they actually were
No,
cheating.
it was there were players listening in, or not players, announcers or whatever listening in. I think because like when you have the option of listening in, you can listen to strategies too. So
Oh,
I don't know what the whole controversy is, but like for me it's Hampus and Rez. I'm just if you want to take a chance on Knock, a chance on Plopsky, I like him in that order: Hampus, Rez, Knock, Plopsky, ZTR. Actually, I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
even
have.
mind Plopsky. Plopsky again seems like he has a ceiling on the slate.
Oh my God, Popsky.
I'm not playing
He
ZTR.
literally
Rush also for me is in play. I can't believe
in
I'm saying
play.
that. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Dude, Rush is good. I won't. I will never not say that Rush is good. Rush won a Masters.
He did. He was with Cloud9 when he won that major, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Major. Yeah, I said Masters,
Yes,
but we're
because
not
thank you, Golf Week.
Masters Week.
Masters Week. Happy Masters Week,
Oh,
everybody.
oh man, I could have called it a bracket. He won a bracket.
Oh, all right over there, Zywe. Um, that is such a great nickname. Um, that is such a
Like
great
we.
nickname. Ugh. It's pretty much what you want to say when you're watching him play. Oh my gosh, he's
Yeah,
just
did you see the? You saw that he was in Forbes for 30 under 30.
that's impressive. I
Counter Strike
also
player.
that's awesome. I mean, Zywu is a special talent. There's a reason he's
Oh
like the
yeah.
prodigy. They're boosting him up to be that next player. I mean, you can really argue Simple is an overall better player than him, but he's to use a wrestling analogy, Zywu's got the rocket strapped to his back and he's being pushed to the moon. Um,
Hmm.
anyway, with that being said, let's actually get to the game. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on. You have anything
Okay.
else to talk about with Nip and Complexity before we talk about the fun game?
I mean, I don't like Rez. I mean, there's a chance that he could do. He does sometimes go off in these losses, but I mean, something's not right there.
We're already saying it's a loss.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Furia versus Astralis. And in case I wasn't clear for me, all 5 complexity are in play for me on this slate, and I really don't want to play Nip if I don't have to. I think complexity win 2-0. Furia versus Astralis. Device is 10,000. Dupree is 9,000. K Serrato is the most expensive Furia player at 8,200. Dan, what are you doing with Furia and Astralis, and who do you think win?
You know what they say at the roulette table, Adam?
What do they say at the roulette table, Dan?
Don't if
Don't put it
if
all
you're
on
running
red.
black, don't switch to red. If it's running black, don't switch. Just stick with black. And I mean that's a very fitting analogy because Furia is black, Astralis is red.
He's
Furia just
referring to
won,
the logo, folks.
Astralis just lost. Stick to black.
He's not saying
Never
all of
switch.
Astralis look like Red Skull.
And
Um,
that's my logic for this matchup is that
Furia
if
has
I
a
was in a
Furia has a black logo. Astralis has a red logo. He's putting it all on black.
and I would not stop betting black until it came up red.
Dan, now that you've confused me a little bit, who do you like for Furia and who do you like from Astralis?
I mean, using my logic, I would say all 5 of Furia are in
Oh
play.
my gosh.
All 5 of them have black jerseys or logos.
Uh,
Adam, what I'm trying to say here is it's a difficult decision to make.
it is. And I think this is where everyone has to look, folks, make a decision. Right? Like, if you think the easiest way to put this is go with who you think win the game. I think we
Yeah.
see an upset. I originally had Astralis going on to face Heroic, I think. Really should have wrote that down.
Yeah, I think you did.
I think
I had
Furia win
Nip.
2-1. Astralis, I wouldn't say got spanked by Gambit.
I mean, what else would you go? Like,
They look like Gambit had an answer for for a lot of what Astralis had. That is really interesting to me from an overall standpoint. Furia, with their aggressive gameplay, if they rattle Astralis, that's going to cause them trouble, in my opinion. And we know
device
who
can't
the
carry.
most aggressive IGL in Tier 1 Counter-Strike is.
Senior Art.
Dan, am I playing art on this slate?
Am I?
Am I playing art on this slate? I played him when
If you
I played him when during that solo podcast, and he tanked. I didn't play him on the next slate. I played G2, and he was the winning captain. Am I playing art on this slate, or am I not playing art on this slate? Dan, I need to know.
if you don't play Art, I'm never talking to you again.
Making a note down. Must play art to continue the podcast.
Don't play Art.
So, well, I mean, like, if I think Furia win 2-1,
Mhm.
are we going to see an art ceiling, or are we going to see an art bus game?
I mean, I think for Art, he's so volatile that it has to be a sweep because over the course of 3 maps, he's gonna have one bad one. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
he does have a chance to. I mean, like, for me, my gut's saying no art on the slate.
Don't play him.
I think from a Counter-Strike standpoint, he's going to help the team. I think he's going to be so aggressive getting information and trying to get picks. I just think Astralis are too good and can take advantage of that. There's a possibility we see quite a few 5v4s in favor of Astralis. If they just pick off Art, for example, they play Nuke and Art's running around outside with his gun waving in the air. I'm Art! And Astralis is like, bye. I just think Astralis can easily have an answer for how aggressive Art likes to be as an IGL getting information. One thing that really stood out to me on Overpass facing Gambit for Astralis. Astralis had no room on the map. They took no map control on quite a few rounds. Or Gambit just wasn't giving it to them. That was interesting to me. And you know
So
Art's not gonna let that happen. Art likes taking map control.
yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that match.
I just think with that being said, I think this is an Art bus game from a stat standpoint, from a Counter Strike standpoint. I think that's gonna help Furia because he's gonna be able to get that crucial information, which would give them time to get the picks that they need. Um, I
I like that. No, that seems like a sound approach or theory.
but of course the more I talk about this, we have to talk about one other element of strategy dealing with Counter Strike DFS.
Go for low ownership guys.
No, just because you're picking a team to win doesn't mean they're going to pay off well for DFS in a win.
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope.
It is. It's a
Don't you
very
think?
slippery slope. I mean, with that being said, I think for me, the only two Furia for me in play are Case Serrato and Yuri.
Okay. Even Yuri, really?
Yes, even Yuri.
Against Astralis?
Yes.
Holy shit.
If Yuri doesn't show up, Astralis win 2-0. Case
Oy,
Serrato,
oy.
Case Serrato is not your. He's not a Zyru level ace of this team. He's not.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely not.
And I think if I'm saying Art has a bust game stat wise, Vinny doesn't exactly do well against top tier teams. I mean, he'll be fine, but again, we're looking at this from a DFS standpoint. We care about the stats for DFS.
Mm.
I could
So yeah,
see.
I think I am now a little worried for Furia. Actually, the more we
I think this could
mull
end
this
up
over.
like we saw VP versus Ents earlier in the playoffs, where we saw VP. Granted, again, it was an insane comeback, and probably a little bit of a mix of just Ents had no answer for them, or just whatever happened there. Two VP were on the winning lineup. Deha was also on the winning lineup. Right? Like, if Ents won that, would it still have been 2 VP optimal? Like, it, it all depends. Like, this game, you have to go with what your gut is telling you.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a super blowout. I don't either way. But I guess if like you said, if like one Fury doesn't really show up, then Astralis can exploit that because they're more
Astralis are a
more
solid
balanced.
five man roster. Furia's like
4.5,
3.5, two and a
three
half,
and a
three
half.
and a half.
Yeah,
It
so then they would be 1.5.
It's 2.5 if Art doesn't show up stat wise. It's 3.5 if Art shows up stat wise. I'm sorry, if Junior shows up. Junior's the 3. Art's the half. I don't really count Vinny. Sorry, Vinny. Um,
For Vinny.
listen, if Vinny goes off on the slate, I'm happy to donate my $10 entry fee. Um, he doesn't typically do well against top tier opponents, and we've figured that out. We've looked at his stats when we went back a couple podcasts ago when he was on the slate, and we looked at the talent, and he does well against non-elite talent, and he doesn't do well against elite talent.
Yeah, I think that was we kind of proved that one out. So I don't think it's going to be a Vinny day. And then I mean, I would definitely prefer Knock at 4,800 over Vinny at 5,000.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
even
if it was between Knock and like Junior for me, I'd pick Knock.
I probably would too. I don't. I It seems like Junior's like maybe learning the strats, and he doesn't speak Portuguese, um, which the Brazilians do. So I don't know if they've changed their communication, but it seems like they're just kind of like trying to integrate him, and maybe they're. And this
It
is my theory is that they're just kind of doing well, you know, um, but they're
but
still trying to integrate Junior.
right, but you're right. It takes a while to integrate a player. This isn't just like hey, I'm a pro, you're a pro, let's do things.
Yeah,
It's not like that. It's not
let's
like
do
if
things.
you're, let's just say, for example, it's not like you're, let's just take a football analogy. Kenny
They're pros. They
Galladay,
make
Kenny Galladay, who's a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, now he's with the New York Giants. You play wide receiver. You have to still learn a new rule book. I'm sorry, not rule book,
Yeah,
new playbook.
even running backs.
Right, like again, it doesn't matter what position you're in. Basketball, you know, there's still plays. Baseball, there's plays to a point. You can switch from team to team, but strategy based, like Counter Strike, everyone has new strategies now. Junior, well, yes, he's an opper. He was brought in to be an opper. He replaced Henny, so I get that. But at the same time, yes, Junior doesn't probably speak Portuguese as fluently as Henny did. Maybe again, that's why you see a lot of like native teams like Fnatic are all Swedish, Navi are Russian and Ukrainian. You see X Windstrike, a lot of are Russian. I think there's like one somewhere else in there, but like if you have the native tongue, it makes it easier. Just because you're all talking the same, but you're still missing the strategy element. If Junior was, let's face it, Junior was the ace of Triumph for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was used to doing everything. He's now being
After
asked to literally be part of a juggernaut team in Furia, who's much more of an aggressive team than Triumph were. So that's a new gameplay style that he has to get used to.
oh, yeah,
So, you all right over there?
I just knocked a book off my footrest here.
Uh-huh. Uh,
No, I liked where you were headed.
I mean, like, here's the thing with
Going with
Junior,
it.
and this is like what's. Yes, I think it's integration. I absolutely do. And the way it's integrated, again, strategies are going to change. Strategies are also round by round specific. Like, every team's going to have their own default setup.
Mm-hmm.
For example, let's just take Inferno. Send 2 banana, 1 alt mid, 1 hanging back as an opper, 1 up mid. 1 goes into apartment, some alt mid, 1's trying to play for picks, and the opera's trying to catch someone by coming out of boiler door, coming by mid in that lane over there, by A site. That could be a default. You could go, okay, strategy. We're going to 5 rush B on Inferno, and then everyone just rushes into B site. Strategy. We're going to send 4 up banana, hold, and we're going to wait for 1 lurker to go through apps, or we're going to wait for 1 lurker to go by boiler, or up mid, or try to get picks, and util flies at the same time, and it's going to take a couple extra seconds for the teams to figure out where everyone is going, what site they're hitting. Strategies make the game different, and we can't predict that for DFS purposes, if all that makes sense.
Right.
So, that's a very, very long, roundabout way of saying, go play with whoever's basically you feel good about.
Yeah, play who you like.
Because I don't think Dan and I can really tell you definitively, I'm gonna play 3 complexity, most likely. If I can make 3 complexity fit, I'm playing 3 complexity. Because that's a no-brainer. It's
Mm-hmm.
how I'm gonna fit in around those guys. Especially on pricing. I would want Case Serrato from Furia. But does that mean I take 2 Astralis if I think they end up having the better stats, even in a loss? Again, slippery slope because we don't play like that, but it's a 2-game slate and we need to get different.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, do you go Vinny on the off chance he goes nuts and you get him at sub 20% ownership and win a GPP? Or does he go 30 and 50 and just tanks your team? Like, you have to understand how volatile the Furia guys are from a stat standpoint. Especially going up against a
Super well.
juggernaut in Astralis. I'm sorry, they're still a juggernaut. They're not washed up. Gambit are just, it's Gambit 1, Gap, and then like another set of teams. For example, like your Virtus Pros, your Astralis. I'm putting Heroic in there, how good they've looked. Like, Gambit are just playing on another level. So let's take Gambit out of any equation that was whoever they're facing and remove that completely. Astralis is still really good. They're still one of the best teams in Counter Strike.
Nah. They're
Really?
old.
Oh, stay on
Device
brand, Dan.
can't
Stay
carry.
on brand. Stay on brand. Basically, we can't tell you who to play because, as you can tell from Dan and I, even on this podcast, we're not sure yet who to play. I personally want to stick to Queserado. I want to try fitting in a device. I want to try fitting in a Dupree. Maybe I have to get to a Zipix. Maybe I really go crazy and play Glaive. That actually may not be a bad idea. Glaive could counteract the aggressiveness of Art. I mean, I think this game is who you can make in your lineups work, what you think about the players, and all the research you all do. We're here to talk about the slate and help you all out with the slate. I can't tell you who to play right now because I don't know who to play right now.
Nor do I, my friend. Nor do I.
But hopefully, at least this discussion is hopefully helping all of you that are listening and trying to figure out the best plays to make on yours. Maybe you want to go 3 Nip, 3 Astralis. That's fine. It's a 2-game slate. Everyone's technically in play. Nip is the biggest leverage on the slate.
Yeah.
But complexity just, again, they're getting back to summer 2020 complexity levels here. Like,
Right?
they're just looking like they're just firing on all cylinders. So, with that being said, all of Fury are in play. All of Astralis are in play. You're going to have to figure out who to play. As I wouldn't, again, Art can have a ceiling game. He can have a bust game. He could be in the middle. Vinny doesn't typically do well against top tier teams. That doesn't mean this can't be a one-off exception. It's still a game. Vinny could go 70 and 30. We just don't know. He can do that. If he causes them fits, again, we're probably going to see Inferno, so Vinferno. And Junior, again, we know how talented this kid is. He could easily go off. Glaive could go off against Art and the rest of Furia. Mages could go off. Like, these are teams that is very tough on a normal day when they're not playing each other to figure out who to play. And now they're playing each other when it's just like confusion. I would say it's based on price. It's based on order of preference. I don't think there's any stats we could really give you that are going to help you make a determination here for a 2-game slate. I think this is going to be a really close game through every single map. I don't think one blows out the other. What do you think, Dan?
No.
Agreed?
No, I'm struggling trying to figure out who to play to. I think it's going to end up just depending on the who from complexity I go
So,
with.
what I would recommend is follow us on Twitter and ask us questions there, or leave a comment down below this video. And after this gets posted, maybe we have a better idea of where we're going. You can follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch, WANDELCH. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. Feel free to reach out to us, and we'll try answering as many questions as possible because this, I think, is the key to the slate. And it's going to be a matter of getting this combo from this game correct. But with that being said, Dan, core, value, GPP play. One of each.
Core poison value, senior knock GPP. I'm going to go with. I would say probably stacking Nip would be a great GPP play.
Not a bad call. Core play for me, also poison. I really like that call. Value play for me is I'll go different. I'll go Russian Junior. You already called knock. I agree with that. GPP play Hampus and
Nice.
K Serrato. Favorite team stack? Can we just say it together? Complexity.
One, two, complexity.
Complexity.
Oh my god, my arm hurts really bad. I got a COVID shot today, and
Oh
I
boy.
just felt the pain.
Ow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like I got. Oh my god, dude, this is really painful.
Oh boy. Dan,
Sorry.
bold prediction. It's all good. We hope you feel
Bold
better.
prediction: Nip wins.
That is a very bold prediction, sir. My bold prediction is You're going to need Poison to win a GPP in the captain spot. I think this is a ceiling Poison day, and I think he goes absolutely off. I don't know exactly how bold that is. At 8,600, he's the fourth highest priced player on this slate. With as many top guys as there are, does that keep Poison's ownership down? And I think I'll get on a second one of that. I think you might need a Hampus run back as well. All right.
Love it.
With that being said, longer than Dan anticipated for this podcast, but that Fury Astralis game, I did not think it would take that long, but it's a very confusing game, and I think is the key to the slate.
You know what they say at the roulette table? Oh, did I already say that?
You did.
I'm just kidding. Bet on black, Adam. Bet on black.
With that being said, Dan likes Furia. We both like complexity. Fury Astralis, I think, determined the winner on this slate. Good luck on this slate.
Good luck.
Latest, peoples.